Are buy now, pay later companies transparent about fees?
I don't think so, no.
How do buy now, pay later programs make you feel?
Well, I feel like at the moment when people need the thing that they're buying, it's a good thing. But then later on, with all the interest added on, it might be more difficult to pay later. So it might be a negative thing.
So it's like more beneficial in like emergency scenarios?
Yes, but then you have to think about later on, like how you're gonna pay it. If you didn't have the money to pay at the moment, then how are you gonna have the money to pay it later? Even though it's in payments.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think buy now, pay later is helpful or more harmful to low-income individuals?
Well, I feel like it depends a lot on the situation. Sometimes it might be beneficial because you're getting the assistance that you need or the item that you need to purchase in the moment, and then your situation can change later on and you might have the money or the flexibility to pay it. But I don't think that happens in most of the cases. They are able to, get it, and then later on it's more difficult to pay, and then if they're not able to pay it later, then it's another,
Yeah, so they're like, the programs are not extremely clear when they like enter in, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Correct.
Have you ever used buy now, pay later?
I have never used buy now, pay later.
Do you think buy now, pay later helps or hurts your money management?
I think if you don't have enough money to buy something in that moment, you probably shouldn't buy it. Yeah.
What do you think students buy most with buy now, pay later?
Probably concert tickets or just like stuff you don't really need. I don't think groceries you can buy now, pay later, right?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so probably if you're using that, it's something that it's not like essential. So, yeah.
Awesome.
So, first of all, do you think buy now or pay later programs help or hurt money management?
I think they can help.
Yeah. Okay. And then, what do you think students buy the most using these programs?
I think maybe gas, I think they use them for their daily gas. Maybe daily expenses, I would say for me it would be like buying lunch at school, in between like my breaks. I would say my gas to get here would be great for a friend like that.
Okay. And then, for the last question, what do you think? Do you think there's like any other programs or any other things students could do that would help their money management more than buy now, pay later programs?
That is so interesting. I would definitely say I would have recommended to myself to take maybe a finance course just so I knew, what it meant. I feel like a lot of people also, they use these apps and, we get the money and we don't really know how to pay it back and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess just that, having time management, the discipline to, scheduling and knowing when you have to return these payments is great. But I do think the program is going to help.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So for the first question, have you or a friend have ever missed a payment? And by payment, I mean like rent or like anything like that.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah?
Okay. Do you want me to specify?
Sure.
Yeah. I think it happened just one time when I totally forgot to pay my credit card, and it was like $400. So, but it was not that much. I just paid the interest, but yeah, bro, like you don't want to miss a payment. That shit.
Yeah.
And my credit score went down for a little bit. So you don't want that to happen. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think buy now or pay later programs help people push? Does it like benefit people, or does it make them like spend too much money? Or
I think it depends on the person, but it really depends on the person. But I think, in my opinion, it kind of make people spend more.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because that's why I don't really use those kind of, which is good, when you actually need the money, well, of course.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of friends and people right here at school that use those programs and they spend a lot of money and they're like, okay, I'll pay later, and they can't,
Yeah.
But when you actually need the money, when it's something like an emergency or something, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
It is actually necessary. And I think those programs should exist because of that,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then for the last question, were you ever taught about buy now, pay later programs in like school in any way?
Like if there should be like one in school, like right here?
Yeah.
I think they should.
You think they should?
I think they should have one. Yeah, like I said, maybe people don't use it as they should sometimes, but I think it's low-key necessary for some of them because, like I say, maybe people use it to spend like on stuff, maybe like on computers and maybe just games, you know, which is okay, you know. I buy games by myself, you know, but I think there's people that actually need the money, you know, when it comes to rent, when it comes to insurance. I know because I've been through that, and I've been using those programs, and that's what I'm saying, you know.
Okay.
They help. They've been helping me, so I think there should be something like that at school, you know.
Okay.
But maybe like an application and actually asking you like, hey, bro, like, what are you gonna use it for, you know?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just like borrow that money and then they're just not gonna give it back, you know.
Yeah.
Or just get people in that
Yeah.
like that. But I think there should be one in school.
Yeah,
For sure.
like you don't want people to be like reckless.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know. But I know people that actually need it,
Yeah.
and they will pay it back. So for sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Is
Thank
that
you.
it?